For this lesson, we are going to learn to draw leaves. And we are going to use some step-by-step resources. So these will be on our class page, and you'll need a white sheet of paper. I'm using my sketchbook. You'll need your pencil, you'll need your eraser, and you'll need a straight edge. It doesn't have to be a ruler. I'm sure there are straight edges all around your house. A book, a video game cover, anything that has a straight edge. That's what I mean when I say straight edge. Something you can draw a straight line with. Now, if you cannot find anything, then just do the exercise on the paper anywhere you want to draw. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to divide my paper into 6 sections or 6 squares. And they do not have to be measured and be perfect. I just want to follow the directions to the best of my ability. I'm the kind of girl, I need to make sure I follow my directions. So, I'm going to draw each one of these leaves in each one of these squares. So the first step, you can follow along. I'm going to just draw a curved line. I'm going to come out about right here and draw a curved line. I guess that's more of an S line. And then I'm going to come over here. And there's no perfect. But there you go. That's the basic shape. In the center, very simple V shape. And those are called veins in the leaf. Now, I forgot to remind you, make sure you draw lightly so that you can erase any mistakes. And then you won't see them. And then if you have a black marker or any color marker, you can outline it. I'll do that when I'm finished. Okay, so the next leaf I'm going to draw is very similar. I think I'll draw it facing upways. A bigger curve, a bigger curve. And these veins, instead of being V-shaped, are going to come out at what we call staggered. In other words, they're not directly across from each other. I think I'll make them go all the way to the end, just like in the directions. Now remember, if I have a little error on here, I can come back and fix that when I am doing my marker. Very good. Okay, the next one is a group of leaves. So I'm going to do my stem. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to create a V. And then each one of these is going to be the stem inside of a leaf. Just lovely and just perfect. And then this next one, I feel like I'm drawing this one left-handed. It almost looks like a heart shape. A botanist could tell me exactly what kind of leaf these are. And this one, I'm going to put the V shape down the leaf. Those are those veins again. There you go. Boy, we're just moving right along. This one is going to involve the outlining process that we've talked about in other lessons. There's my stem. I'm going to go ahead and do this one just like the directions. Upside down V's. I'll be honest, this is the one I have the hardest time with. So I'm going to start right here, and I'm just going to outline this with curves, like when we did the bubble letters. There we go. Not too bad. You know, if you go outside and pick up leaves, You won't ever find two leaves exactly the same. That's just the way nature works. Okay, so then we're gonna go and do the maple leaf. Ooh, this is a hard one for me. I might do a lot of erasing. It almost looks like a holly leaf until you get it all the way drawn because of these shapes. A wavy line, now when I say a wavy line, it's going to create a wavy line. Ooh, now I got to do it on the other side. Symmetry stumps me. So let me try my best. Ooh, that's pretty rough, but you know what? I'm pleased. I didn't have to erase anything, but if I choose to do it again, I will do it better because this is called practice. If I already knew how to do it perfectly, I wouldn't have to do this. I could just move to the next part. All right, so let's talk about these kind of leaves. This one, and you don't have to label it, this is a willow. This one is a beech, E-E-C-H. This one is a walnut. This one is a poplar, not popular, poplar. This one is an oak. Those acorns. And this one is a maple. To me, the maple tree in the fall are the most wonderful colors, a lot of yellow. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to color mine. I'm going to outline it with a black Sharpie, and then we're going to do something really exciting. I'll be back. I colored mine, and I did a couple of different things just to experiment because that's what practice is all about. Some things I liked, some things I didn't like. So just like in the picture where they used some different colors, I don't know what they used, I think they used markers, I'm not sure, but I used crayons because that's what I have. So anyway, I colored the whole leaf. I came back in with some different shades, kind of like they did. And you can't really tell, so then I went and got some markers and did some outlining with the same color marker to complement. Will I do it again? I don't know. I might try something different next time. The next part of your assignment, though, if you want to take this farther, which I hope you will, we're going to draw a big leaf. But first, we need to go on a field trip to get the leaf to draw. So follow me. So what we're doing is we are currently on a field trip, you and me. And what we're looking for are some leaves. I guess I can take this off. We're outside now. So what we're looking for are some leaves. So there are a couple of trees in the front of the school. So let me get to them and I'll show you what we got. All right, so here's the first leaf. I don't believe I'm gonna pick that one. And in a few minutes, you'll see why. But they're really prickly. They're beautiful, really prickly. There's another tree. I'm disturbing a bird. There's another tree. Well, number one, they're a little higher than I can reach, but we're getting closer to what we're after. All right, this is one of the perfect. This is ivy, and it's climbing up one of the trees at school. So before you stick your hand in ivy, be careful. Things live in there. So I'm gonna reach here and I'm gonna grab one and I'm gonna make sure that it's complete. It doesn't have any tears in it and it doesn't have any bugs on it. Let's see what else we can find. Some of you recognize this as magnolia tree. They're massive. It's the one with the ivy on it. You know, there are really good leaves for this, but look what I see. There's some on the ground over here. So I'm just gonna get one of those. I really like this tree. I think it's a Japanese maple. Don't hold me to that, please. I'm an art teacher, not a botanist. But anyway, that's gonna be a really cool leaf. Some of them have a little bit of Eaton's going on there, so I'm going to find one that hopefully doesn't, and then we'll move on to the last tree. So moving on with phase 2, remember we did our practices, which is a lot of fun. It was a lot of work. I'm going to use a clean sheet in my sketchbook. If you're using just paper, like white paper or notebook paper, you might want to find a book or a magazine, because having some cushy underneath really helps with this process. So I'm going to get the leaves I gathered. Here's my Japanese maple. There is my ivy that was climbing up the magnolia tree. And here is the, does anybody remember? Well, let me tell you, that was the crepe myrtle leaf. So what we're gonna do is we are going to just do a rubbing. And I'm using a blue crayon so that you can see, because once again, this is for fun. I'm going to make sure I have one page. I'm going to put a leaf underneath. I'm going to make sure I can feel it. And then I am just going to rub over it with my crayon and see what happens. Oh, you gotta keep on following that. As you color, you can see exactly where the leaf is underneath your paper. That way you don't have to scribble everywhere. Voila, there is my crepe myrtle leaf. So let me grab my ivy. I'm just going to stick it down here somewhere, and it's okay if they overlap each other. That's perfectly legal. And I'm going to follow, and you could use different color crayons. I'm not sure a pencil will work well, but you can give it a try. Oh, that's a long stem. There we go, there's my ivy. Let's try, I grabbed probably too many. So I think I will just take these two. Now these are thin and flimsy. I don't know if they'll work or not, but what's the best way to figure it out? Just don't make crayons like they used to, it broke. Oh yeah, that's really cool. And it's creeping over into the ivy. That is legal. And I wish I'd thought to use a different color crayon. Have all these colors overlapping, but that's okay. All right, there's my Japanese maple. And I only had one more that I could find. That's my magnolia. So I'm just gonna lay it under here. Now it's the thick, crispy kind of leaf, so let's see what happens. Oh, there it is. There it is, it's like magic. Just like magic. Take your time. Stems are a little difficult. Excellent. All right, so here's phase 2. That was a lot of fun. Have fun going outside to find your leaves. Best time of year to do it. Crunchy leaves on the ground might be a little bit difficult, but that's okay. Give it a try. This is all about playing and experimenting. Next, we're going to work on another project for this, phase 3. Quick recap of what we've been doing, just in case you dozed off, which I'm sure you did not. We used our resources and we created a practice sheet. This is where you can make some wonderful mistakes because it's called practice. Then we went on a virtual field trip to the school front yard and we gathered some leaves and we came back inside and we did leaf rubbings with a crayon. Any color would do. Now we're moving on to phase 3. You can take any of these shapes that you learned from the resources. You can actually trace a leaf if you would like, or create your own wonderful leaf. I did a mixture. I created my own leaf, but as I finished it, it actually wasn't my own. It was from our resources. So now you have some choices to make. This leaf is going to be one of your final pieces. I would like to see all three, but turn in what you can. I would like for you to take this, and you can do a variety of things with it. You can do a leaf rubbing, putting the leaves that we gathered behind it, like this, and then you'll have a background for your leaf that resembles that right there. I think that would be really cool if I can figure it out. And you can also use watercolor paints if you would like to. You can use Crayola markers, and when you color it and then add water, it becomes paint-like. So that's always fun too. I think we did that on maybe the chameleon exercise that you can find on the YouTube channel. So anyway, I'm going to work on what I think would be best. Earlier during COVID, when I was at home, I used watercolor, so I outlined with a Sharpie. Any other marker would bleed. And then I did a leaf rubbing underneath. And then I came back over it with watercolor. So I really like that. But I want to do something different and see how that turns out. So I'll work on mine. I'll show you mine. And then I can't wait for you to turn yours in. So here's my finished piece. I took my leaves. I put them underneath. I did some rubbings. And then I came back with some old paint that I found here. And I'll probably come back and do some work with markers later on. So I'll be happy to show you that too. When I'm not pleased with this. I don't think I can see it very well. So when you're not pleased, I don't throw it away. I just keep going. What do I have to lose at this point? And I want for you to see that just because I don't like something doesn't mean I'm going to give up on it. It just means I'm going to keep helping it grow. So I'll be back later to show you whatever I decide to do. So glad I didn't give up on what I didn't like. All I did was I took Crayola markers because they are water soluble, and I did a little bit of watercoloring with the marker. So I took my marker and I just colored in some areas. Just scribbled, scribble, scribble, scribble. And then I took just a regular old brush, and it's certainly not one of my better ones. And I added a little bit of just water. And it turns that marker ink into paint. So I'm thankful, very thankful, that I'm actually glad it didn't turn out beautifully the first time, because that encouraged me to stretch my mind and have a whole different piece of art. So enjoy it, turn it in, love it.